Like I told you off camera, I just want to have a conversation between two human beings, and let's have the uncomfortable conversation that most don't want to have, avoid having, or are not going to listen to understand.
Sure.
Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton the son, Mr. Boogity All. Yeah, bro, I come out firing. Firing. Just like how this interview about to be firing. Cause man, this is a treat for me. As I spoke off camera, I feel honored to have this opportunity, and I promise to do right by it. But as I always say, I create good content for the masses, but ladies and gentlemen, I just promise to just keep it funky. Now, you are in for a treat because this particular individual is an actor, is a singer, is an activist, fiance, a brother, a son. I present the son and introduce the others, Jussie Smollett.
My brother.
How you doing, bro?
You doing all right?
You good?
You doing all right? Chilling, man. Happy to be here.
Man,
Honored to be here.
Look, I'm happy that you're here because we got something in common.
What we got in common?
All right. I tried to hold it off as long as possible, but special forces.
Oh my God.
Can we talk about it?
Fuck
we
that
talk?
show.
Can we talk about it? Cause my experience, I'm dying to know your experience.
Listen. Well, what was your experience? I watched your experience. That's your experience. It was watching, I swear to you, it was watching you, Kayla Nicole, and Kyla Pratt.
Yep.
That's what made me say I could do it because, or that I would do it. Not that I could do it, but I would do it because I was offered season 2 and I was offered season 3. And I was like, hell nah, hell nah. Hell no. I saw something happen to poor Tara Reid. And they like pushed the baby off the boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, nah, that's not for me.
No.
That's not for me. They all close on you. I was like, there's gotta be spit particles getting in my face. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. I mean, it was difficult. I always say like, I'm athletic, but I am not an athlete. So
You could get by.
I could get by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I could do a little workout.
Yeah.
But this was another level. And then on top of it, it also was very mental. It's like the physicality.
It's all mental.
It's all mental.
It's all
because, but that's what Eva was saying too. She said, because if it was strictly about the physical, you would have won, like, hands down, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't even be talking, you know what I mean? But the way that it's so complicated, people don't understand that there's so much more than just the physical, just the mental. It's all of those things combined, and it can mess with you. It can really mess with you. There's something about having to surrender that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. And there's something about not having the ability to have a messed up day. Because we're used to having a messed up day. We fight through it all the time. But there's something about being able to pick up the phone and call your loved one, call your mate, call your sibling, call your mama, whoever you have that's close to you, being able to say, God, today was rough.
Yeah.
But having to sit in that with no one to call, nothing, no outside forces or anything like that was, man.
I want to stay here for a while because who was? I don't want to give away the results, but by the time this episode comes out, we would probably have known. But who did you trauma bond with?
Eva.
I seen it on. I mean, you posted it on your social.
Eva, absolutely Eva. Eva was my sister through this because she also was filling me in because I didn't know who was gonna be there. So to be quite honest, I went in with my dukes up. I was ready to. I had never done unscripted. I love reality TV. You know what I'm saying? Like baddies all day.
Yeah, what? Yeah, Love Island.
Post-formal.
What?
But I had never done it. And so to go into it, I thought, you see clips of Big Brother, you see clips of all of these things. And I'm like, all right, all things considered, somebody's gonna fuck with me. Yeah. Somebody is going to come at me. And it's interesting because, to be quite honest, I thought that it was gonna be Cody Brown, who's from a show that I had never seen before. I was about to say Mob Wives, Sister Wives.
Yep.
And so Eva kind of ran down the people that were there, and I'm like, okay, so now I started Googling like the night before. The last night I had my phone, I started Googling people and seeing like what their stories were. And I'm like, before I met them. So I went into it kind of thinking, all right, so he's gonna be a problem. She might be shady. Mm-hmm. This person might do something. But I was wrong. You know what I mean? And I really went into it with my own preconceived notions about people having their own preconceived notions. Mm-hmm. And so what ended up happening is again, I don't know what anybody thought, but to me, that's respect. I didn't know what anybody thought. So it was really cool. And there's something about this crazy ass show. There's something about being around people that society would have us believe that there would be no reason for us to be sitting in the same mess hall, in the same, the same barracks, and having a meal together, sleeping across from each other.
Relying,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Relying, truly depending on them for your survival through this. And then the feeling of when you mess up and their survival depends on you, like that, there's something about that, but here we are, bonding not over our differences, but actually our similarities. Because we're going through the same thing.
For sure.
There's no time to talk about politics right now. There's no time to talk about what you believe about this or that. And it's there's something powerful about that. Yeah.
Man, I did that show, and every time a person asked, because I made it, I was literally an hour away from completing.
I literally thought you was going, I was like, Cam is...
Like, but now, I'm prefacing you this. However long you stayed, I knew this being a part of production. It comes down to the edit.
Yes.
It comes down to how they want to make you seem or make the situation seem.
You said it comes down to the edit.
The edit.
My brother,
talk to me.
No, I won't be, what I've learned is you're absolutely right. I haven't seen the edit because at this point where we are, it hasn't aired yet.
For sure.
But, an edit is an edit, right? And they can do whatever they want. What I've decided is that anything that I do other than scripted, I won't be watching. Because
so
I have no control.
So you don't want to watch it?
No, I don't. Because I think, I'll see clips, it's fun and it's all good, but I also know that it was an incredible experience. I want everybody to watch it. I think that it's going to be great television, but I don't necessarily need to constantly relive things that I already actually lived.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about me. It's easier to watch. It's easier to watch Jamal Lyon than it is to watch, stuff like that, where it's like people have, and again, they've been wonderful. I don't have any bad, anything.
For sure.
It's just, I don't need to know either way. I feel like knowing anything too much about yourself or watching yourself too much is just not healthy.
The common question that's asked is, and you will get this, is, was it real? You see what I'm saying? And being on TV, be it that it may, it's real as hell.
Yeah.
Those emotions, those triggers, those like, whoa. No, hold on. Hey, bro, sweetheart, like for real. Like those are real emotions.
Yeah.
And you find yourself in a situation that's like, yo, I'm finding out so much about myself. The main reason why I did Special Forces was I wanted to expose myself to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
At that point in my life, I was trying to really put away my career. And I was in search of something that's like, yo, where am I flawed at? Am I emotionally intelligent? Am I emotionally aware? Do I have lingering issues that I may not have been able to properly voice that I was masking through a football career that now, and I went into it with no pretense of being a fan of the show.
Right.
I didn't know nothing.
Right.
I've seen a former football player. I reached out to him. I was like, yo, how was it? My next question was, is the pay good?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, brother.
Hello.
That was
like,
let's keep it real.
let's keep it a big
That's
buck.
what made me say yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what got me. That's not what kept me.
Yes.
But that's what got me.
But that right there was like, yo, was it professional? Because like you hear these situations where it's like, okay, I got you. Now I'm about to use your story against you.
Yes.
And it's like, no, I'm feeling attacked. Yeah. That ain't how you handle me. And I think what happened was the money had already cleared.
That's the problem.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when I got there, it was the relationships that kept me there.
Yes.
And I told Kayla and Kyla, I'm only here because of y'all. If y'all quit, when y'all quit, that's when I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what, DS, I'm good.
I feel like I was there because of Eva, Chanel, Teresa, and Gia. Like, yo, Teresa and Gia, Giudice, my Jersey girls, and Chanel Iman, and Eva. There's just something about them, but yeah, that was exactly what it was, and it kept me there. And you know what I did also? I told myself every single day, I said, I'm gonna quit tomorrow. Because I knew I really wanted to fucking quit.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna quit tomorrow. And then when tomorrow come, I'll say, I'm gonna quit tomorrow. As long as I didn't quit today, then I would keep on going. So that's really what held me over as long as I was held over. Cause, yo, man, like some of that stuff, I was just like, and I was like, yo, the moment they tell me I gotta clean up that shit, no, I'm a VW. I'm a voluntarily withdrawal.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, this is not gonna happen.
Okay, which staff member really irked you?
Foxy.
Bruh,
Foxy pulled, and what pisses me off is that they so damn nice on their Instagrams and in their real life. That pisses me off. Like seeing Foxy with his baby and his lady, and seeing Javon, seeing Q with his lady, like how delicate he is.
See,
I'm
he
like,
wasn't
damn, y'all are
even,
nice as hell.
Q wasn't even with his lady. Like, he came on.
Oh, okay.
Funky Friday.
So maybe she softened his ass.
Yeah.
Cause those were some rough ass mofos.
Yeah.
Foxy's ass gonna pull the thing off of my head, and he sees my grays in my beard. And this sucker gonna say, no, the first time they meet you. And so he looks at me and says, you're getting old, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I want you to be like, motherfucker, you look like a crumbled baguette.
Hey, you talking about?
And you sit there talking about me, but then what's so funny is that, again, it's somehow, you feel somehow like they are rooting for you. Because you know that they are. You don't feel that in the moment. Don't get me wrong. Like, I went into the interrogation and I left and I wanted to punch them in their face.
What?
I really did. Because at that point, you're tired.
Yep. Exhausted.
You are exhausted.
Yep.
You are run down. It's like you finally think you're going to get to sleep. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and then they call you in. And then you go in, you cold.
Yeah.
You maybe then already swam in that cold ass water that they had us in Morocco or whatever like that late at night. And then they start asking you questions. You may overshare. You may say things that, are absolutely factual.
No, for sure.
But are just more emotional.
Your state of mind.
You're more vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you're sharing things that maybe ordinarily you wouldn't have shared in mixed company.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And then sometimes you leave. And I left, and I was kind of mad at myself. But then I turned, flipping, instead of being mad at myself, I was mad at them.
Yeah.
It's all of those emotions, all of those things, like, am I representing my family the right way?
Right.
Am I making sure that, people know that, like, I'm a real one? It's just all of these things, but there's no time to worry about those things. And so your guard is dropped.
Yeah.
You really have no control. You thought you had control. You like, come on, man.
I'm good.
I've been doing interviews forever.
For a long time.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I've been doing interviews forever. Like, it's fine. And then you get there and you're just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What just happened? So, but with that said, it's one of the instances in my life that I've probably been the most clear-minded. And I left it with such a certainty about where my life was going and where it was just a very clear vision. And I loved it.
I look at that in a situation where I will double down and say it's all about the edit. We had so many moments, and it came down to, it wasn't the heights, it wasn't the water, it wasn't, being sleep deprived, it wasn't certain things. They used what I said against me, and they didn't show that. When we first got to where we were in Wales, and the first day we got there, it never made the cut because when we got there, Golden Tate had did something and he was in a chicken coop, right?
The fuck?
Exactly.
And he did something wrong? So
I looked at him and I was like, yo, I'm not doing that chicken coop. It just dehumanizes Black people. I said that. And then they kept saying, stop saying that because they hear you. And they record everything. They will wake you up out your sleep just to turn your your mic on.
Yes.
They don't show those type of things. Great experience, but it was like, no, I'm dead ass serious. I'm not doing that coop, bro, because number one, I'm 6'6". Number two, Black people in chains or being suppressed in compromised place. I'm not doing that. So all those experiences, I did the interrogation room for like an hour. They only showed 10 minutes of it.
Sure.
And it's like, yo, now I left a whole show, people thinking that you're broke. And I'm like,
sure.
My baby mama's listening, I am broke. It's hell. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like certain things are happening. And I'm like, yo, that wasn't the case. So the last challenge, they had this interrogation and I'm like, man, I'm good, bro. I know. Bro, we slept. We didn't even sleep. We was 12 hours or really 18 hours on the run. So they was trying to brainwash us. They was trying to have us just in this mental state because we were held hostage and they wanted to put us in that frame of mind. As soon as they opened that door, I was shocked that it was sun outside because of, how long we've been going. And I seen a coupe. And I was like, I felt like training day. You motherfucker. Oh, y'all got me, bruh. And then that's why I quit. And it had nothing to do with, it wasn't tough. It was just like, yo, y'all put me in that coupe. Y'all knew I felt like the producers was gonna try me on some, let's see if.
But they didn't show the chicken coop thing, did they?
They did, but they didn't show Golden in there, nor my response to Golden being in there. You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
So Golden's situation happened day one. As you know, that show is shot in a 10 to 15 day span.
Right.
I made it all the way through. And that, going back to the first day, I'm like, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not getting in that coupe, bro. I
think I may have missed the damn episode where you left because I don't know why I thought that you left because of the interrogation. I didn't know anything about that.
It was it wasn't, I'm saying it wrong. It wasn't the interrogation. It was when they try to not hold you hostage, it's like somebody help me out.
It's like the interrogation where you can't give up the goods. Like they're trying to get the.
But they
it's like a hostage interrogation type of thing.
Yes.
Like you've been captured by.
And they give you
POW type of thing.
Yes.
Like a prisoner of war type of thing.
So they give you words to keep in mind, like don't give up that you're in the U.S. military, and then it's like, okay, what am I supposed? What's my story? And then they're asking you this question, and they send two different interrogators in there. One of them is to soften you up. How are you? Oh, you got kids. Tell me about your kids. Where are you from? Oh. And then you see another situation where it's a bigger dude. He's like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, whoa, my man. But that whole experience came down, obviously, to the edit. But the relationships that was garnered there, it exposed this in me. I knew a lot of those people prior to me seeing them. I was fans of them.
Got it.
You had Doug Baldwin, Kayla Nicole, Kyla Pratt, Golden Tate, Brody, so many individuals that you know from afar. But when you go through the same triggers, traumas, and same issues, you start to say, I'm not a good teammate, or I am a good teammate. Hey, I'm stronger than I gave myself credit for. Hey, I'm weak in these areas. And going back to your point, it has nothing to do with athleticism. It has everything to do with here.
Absolutely.
Because when they, 16, 12, report to the thing. Like you're waking up and it's like, oh,
what
man.
number were you?
Like 16.
I was 16. Yeah. Carry on the legacy.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's right.
There
Y'all want to fuck with the black man, make us all 16.
Yeah,
Why the
so
fuck y'all wanna do that?
see, what's
right.
happening here?
That's right. What's up?
And so
What's
it was
up?
those things that I realized I appreciate Fox for giving that and making it and keeping it real.
Yes.
Right. It's like everybody like, how real was it? It's like, no, bro, like it was so real. I was using a watch to entertain myself. I was like, yo, Wednesday, what I will be doing, 6 p.m. No, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, bro. It's lit in my household, bro. We'll be doing
Bye,
it.
Cam.
Like, real talk.
Not think about Taco Tuesdays.
You gotta go somewhere.
Yeah. I used to make like music, not music, but I would make like sounds with the beep of the watch.
That's creative.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I found different things to keep myself all right, you know, and also, you know how they film you when you go into the bathroom?
Did y'all have the huts? Was y'all outside?
They had a big ass gumbo pot with a piece of plywood with a hole cut into it.
Yeah,
and you're
and then
supposed
they
to
just
sit your
throw
ass
dirt
down there.
And then you having a whole conversation with a person, male and female, like, "What's up, bro? How you doing?" You doing
Now,
all
what
right?"
I did is because I didn't want to be on camera, and I don't know what they're gonna do with the edit, but I decided, because I had worked for Fox before, so I knew pretty much like what songs will they license and what songs will they not license. Well, I Will Always Love You is a very expensive song. So I would sit down on the toilet, I wouldn't sit, on the toilet, and I would sing I Will Always Love You out loud so that they couldn't, this is true, so that they couldn't film this, they couldn't put it on TV.
Now watch this.
Now watch they put some music over it and don't show me.
Watch this.
And I'm just sitting there like
you
this.
think you smart, huh?
And they got boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop,
Man,
boop. Like,
bro.
nah. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but you know, I thought I outsmarted them, so we'll see.
My last question on this is, what challenge got you?
The one with the plane drowning.
With you and Ava.
Dipping
Eva,
under.
I'm sorry.
I did it with Eva, and then I did it with Christy, and I lost both times.
Hold on, you went again?
Bro, that was the worst experience of my life.
What?
Because both of them passed. And the only reason why both of them failed was because of me.
you?
It was so embarrassing.
Damn.
And I loved it, but still.
Dang.
It was awful. And this is the thing. Right before, and I was so sure of myself. And that's the thing. It was the one challenge that I was sure of myself. And it was the one that I failed.
What?
Because I feel like I wasn't cocky, but maybe I was in my head. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I'm a singer, bro. Like, my air, you know, my breath control,
Right.
man, come on. It's top notch. I got this. So they're up there dripping everybody down into the water in the plane that's supposed to have crashed. And I'm sitting there with my watch. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I hold my breath. I'm like, well, baby, Eva can hold her breath for 41 seconds. I can hold my breath for 1:12. So we good. Like, what's good? Like, nobody's messing with us. But then they played us under that dirty green water. And I'm not good at opening my eyes underwater, all right?
Little murky murk.
I can swim, but I'm not good at opening my eyes underwater. And I'm thinking to myself, but if this was real, wouldn't we have goggles? So whatever. But we had to swim, and I just couldn't find, they said you have to exit, but you had to exit out of the second door. I couldn't find the second door. So I'm sitting there like, the first time, I'm thinking, okay, I'm good. And Eva starts freaking out when we're getting lowered. As we're walking to the plane, she starts freaking out, like crying like crazy. And I'm just like, well, this is my strong boo.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? So I start calming her down. And I calm her down because I was like, yo, it's just you and Marley, her little baby girl. I said, it's just you and Marley holding your breath at the pool. I said, this is easy. This is simple. We got this. She calms down a little bit, and then the water goes above me like this, and I start freaking out. And I kind of, but by that point, I know if Eva had known that I was freaking out, she would calm me down, but we already under the water.
Y'all underwater?
So I'm freaking out. I start drinking this water. I'm like, oh, God. And then
it's a green smoothie.
She taps me. She gets out. I get out. And I cannot find the second thing, so I end up at the back of the plane. And I got out, but it was the back of the plane. Then we went up. And Christy didn't have a partner. So for whatever reason, my dumb ass, I'm like this.
Are you just a glutton for punishment?
Because I was like, we can do this. And I thought Foxy didn't see me. I was kind of like, should I? Because I wasn't sure. I was like, should I? And then he's like, come on. And I'm like, fuck. So now I can't say no. And I went. And this time I was choreographed. I said, okay, it's window, window, door, window, window, door. So I got this. Even if I can't see it, I'm gonna do window, window, door, window, window, door. I get to window, window, door. Got it. Window, window. Where the fuck is the next door?
You panic.
I don't see it. So I panic and I go out back again. And I lose again. And I was just like, and of course, Nick Young, Swaggy P over there, just be like, damn, he lost again? It was the worst.
Hey, bro. See, that's the thing, though, and that's why I say it's real, because you can tell yourself what you will do, but you will never be able to tell yourself what you will do when you're panicking.
Absolutely. And everybody's gonna be watching it being like, oh man, I could have done that.
Window, window, door,
man,
window,
his
door.
dumb ass couldn't even go to window, window, door.
You feel me?
And it's just like, okay, then go do it.
Dang.
Because what I know for sure is that it gave me so much more respect. I always respected the troops.
Yeah.
I'm always like, you know, do not support war, but you gotta love and support the troops.
For sure.
My uncle, you know, fought in Vietnam. He was a Navy SEAL. The fact that there are people that do this, because yes, ours was very, very real for us, but it was not as real as the people that actually do it. For sure. So for that and that alone, I'm just like, yo, I have so much respect for the fact that this is not a 1 week or 3 day or 4 day thing for them.
No, this is life.
It's their life.
Yeah.
So when I look at Q or I look at Foxy, I can understand them because it's very serious to them. They want you to respect what they've done. They want you to respect what they've been through. And I get it, but it doesn't make what you're going through at that moment any easier.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said about there are certain things in there that are meant to trigger you based on your culture, your gender, your age, whatever it may be, your physical form, whatever it may be. Because it's the same thing. It's so crazy that you said about the chicken coop. There was a cage that all of a sudden was rolled in. And it was like a wooden cage. And it looked like one of them old like slave auction block cages. And I'm sure that there were a lot of people in the cast that their mind didn't go to that when they saw it. But of course, my mind goes right to that.
No, for sure.
So I'm just like, I said to Eva, I said, the moment that they say that we got to get into one of those, I'm gone. And I'll voluntarily withdraw. And I'll be okay because I feel like I had a reason to be able to do so. That's the line in the sand. That's the line in the sand. That's my absolute. Yeah. But I never got to the point where I had to do that, so it was all good. But I understand the idea of culturally it means something different to us than it means possibly to someone else. Yeah, man, I took that experience as something where, man, special shout out to every person that has protected the United States of America. Yeah, can we get better? Absolutely. But we must. For the people who have sacrificed limbs, body parts, and lives for our safety, and we just got a glimpse of what they go through. Sleepless nights, you can't brush your teeth, you can't really properly take care of yourself, all for a moment that I've been looking through this hole for 28 hours. Yeah. He's here. As soon as I get there, pow! And
you got to go.
And it's wild because there is a point where you're like, damn, can they just like let us sleep?
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, they could be woke up at any time.
At any given point.
Any point. So, you know, it's all respect. It's all love. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful to be able to, I'm grateful that that was my entrance into unscripted or reality TV, whatever you want to call it. And you know, it's always fun to work with the folks at Fox. You know, I've had a good experience with them thus far, and it's been a good thing. So, you know, I certainly have funny ass stories. That's the other thing too, is that it's a dramatic show, but there's so much fun, there's so much joy. And that's why I'm scared of like edits also, because there's so much joy around the situation. There's so much funny shit that happens, you know. But who knows? Again, like you said, it's all up to the edit.
It all comes down to the edit and the storytelling.
Yeah.
Well, for the people who did know, you've been popping, I've been doing this for a long time, right? And I was just reminded, it's like, yo, you were in Mighty Ducks?
I got my SAG card in 1988.
Hell, you talking?
What?
Tom Matt,
What?
you feel me?
1988. Like what?
And to be in your right mind for people who we've seen, it's like, yo, what happened to old boy? Like, and to see you in this state, bro, is something thoroughly amazing, because we don't think about success in a light where you're talking about sustaining success.
Sure.
And you've now, and I want to talk about this now, ventured off in music. How long have you been curating music and wanting to, you know, be, well, I'm about to say athlete, but talent in regards to the film as well as an artist, music?
Music has been the thing from the beginning. It's just that, you know, acting was the thing that people saw me doing first. But again, I said this a while ago. I was like, I remember a time when I wasn't acting. I don't remember a time that we weren't doing music in some form. You know, I didn't like come out the womb doing monologues, but you know, I remember being a little kid and playing the piano or trying to pick out, you know, "Love Me Tender" by Elvis Presley, or "Rock With You" by Michael Jackson. And so music has always been the thing that it's nice. Like, I love acting, and it's nice to be able to hide behind other characters and find pieces of yourself within those characters. But music is the thing that there's no hiding. There's no way to hide behind it, because you're singing as you. Yeah. You know, you're out there as you. So either it's real or it's not. But music is definitely my first love. And it's what I was doing before anybody knew my name. For sure. As a child. Because here's the thing, it's not like I was a child star. I was a working child actor. And there's a difference. Like, I didn't have the pressures that Macaulay Culkin or Lindsay Lohan or even my little sister Journey had, you know, growing up. Because I was a working actor. I had a great career and worked consistently, but I wasn't a child star. Yeah. So there was a point where I could kind of pull the plug, and that happened at 12 years old after we had our own TV show on ABC for a season, and then they canceled it. I was 12 years old at the time, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I'm going to do music, and I'm going to do music only. And I really started to study and study and study and study, and it wasn't until I was in like my late 20s that I got back into it, because I was like, I need money. It's like I'm like, I need money, bruh.
But even that, what was that? How high? I'm like, the dude had the I need money.
I need money. I need that money.
I need that money.
So it's like, you know, I went back and got back into it, and then like booked guest starred on the Mindy Project, and then a couple movies, and finally booked Empire. So it's been consistent with acting, but it's actually been more consistent with music, because I never stopped music.
Wow. So I didn't know this, but your sister, I didn't obviously put two and two together. She actually played in one of my favorite Tyler Perry movies.
Temptation?
What?
It's crazy as hell.
What?
Judas!
Listen, boy, let me tell you something. She did
played
her
that.
Oh
She
my
played that. Listen,
God.
I am not biased, but she is my favorite actor.
Bro, listen.
She's my favorite actor of all time.
I watched that movie, and granted, now, growing up in Atlanta, you when you hear Tyler Perry, it's the plays Tyler Perry. It's
Got it.
Medea
Got
Tyler
it.
Perry. But when
Until
it
it wasn't.
said Tyler Perry presents Temptation, and it's like, let me watch this. Then it starts off in the first scene of the therapist, and she's saying this, and then it goes back, and then boom, it's like, hold on. Did you find yourself like really locking in? And then my lady, she told me, like, yeah, that's his sister.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
That's
what?
my little sister. That's my little baby.
Did you feel pressure with her success? And now you're like, okay, I did this before. She's doing this. And is that something that is a thought?
Not at all. And again, I don't know if it's because I'm a man and she's a woman, but no, because it's just not. You know, my other siblings have had extreme success in all that they do, and it's just that's the one thing that I can honestly say. We just weren't raised like that. We were raised in such a communal effort that when I tell you, when she is doing what she does, there is no greater pride than, like, I'm smiling right now because it's so real. Like, she truly is not just one of my favorite human beings, but truly is truly my favorite actor because she encapsulates every single thing that I love about actors from the 40s and the 50s, and while still being, you know, so powerful and black and just unafraid and unapologetic. She's younger than me, but I certainly look up to her in the sense of the choices that she's made career-wise and in her life. But career-wise, the way that she represents herself, the way that she represents our people, you know, is something that I think in the years to come will be respected even more. Yeah. You know, because she does Oscar caliber work.
For sure.
Does not have to be acknowledged. She does Emmy caliber work without having to be acknowledged. She is just, and is still one of the most humble, confident, but most humble human beings I've ever met.
I think, you know, acting is a different kind of, dare I say sport, but it's a
sport. It is a sport.
It's a different type of profession because you're judged by the body of work and the work at the same time. It's like you can come out with a movie that hits home on get all awards, and then your next 3 projects, people are like, it don't, like, what have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. Like, it's that people care about, and it's hard. It's the pressure. You know, so, man, I commend not just her, but you as well, just making sure that, like, yo, here I am, and still popping out. No,
but you gotta forever, you have to be able to expand and grow in anything that you're doing. Right. You know what I mean? It's the same thing how you've transitioned from one career and now you're doing it, but you're doing it well, and you're not just throwing it together. I mean, come on, like, people can't really, like, let's just take a little moment. People can't really see behind the scenes of this. Yeah. This looks really cool. This is a great set, but they don't see that you have an entire studio here. Yeah. That you truly have an entire studio. It takes a lot of guts to step out on faith and bet on yourself and say, that is not all that I am. No, like, that is something that I do, something that I did, something that I'm incredible at, but there's so much more to do. And you're not gonna box me in and make me feel that that's it.
I'm one dimensional,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I say this, I have to have an honest and vulnerable moment with you, because even though you've highlighted, you know, what this is, and I'm working tirelessly with my team to try to put on the best content that people can consume, and I'm at the mercy of an algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But when I think about this particular situation, I must ask this question: why me? Because this story and this opportunity to so many is their peak. Oh, Jussie, what?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I've interviewed numerous individuals. And when the opportunity came up, I'm like, typically people come to me with like, yo, I got this coming out, I got that coming out. But really for you, it's like, I felt like you chose me.
I respect you, number one.
Right.
And number two, and number three, and number four, and number five. There is something about talking to, how do I say this? Make it sound right. I've heard a lot of people say, kind of put the term on me, comeback. And it bothers me because to me, it's not a comeback because I never stopped working and it's all optics, right? And to me, this is more of an exit strategy. This is not, I don't want to be in my 50s having to talk to people who don't give a fuck about me. Mm. And then there's the second part of that. I don't want to have to talk to people that even if they don't give a fuck about me, they also don't give a fuck about the things that I give a fuck about. And that's love and integrity and talking to each other instead of talking at each other.
Right.
And I think that I just want to go where the love is. I don't feel the need to put myself through talking to assholes anymore. And we all have a little asshole
we all do.
To us, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like that's what my album is about. That's why I titled it Breakout, is because we're breaking out and we're taking back our power. And I think that for so long, we've either been giving it away freely or been forced to give it away. And for 7 years, it's been difficult. And I don't want to continue to speak to people that don't at least have the best interest of my people in their heart.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's like, no, let's go here. Let's not go there. Let's go here. And because I'm not afraid to answer questions, I never have been, but I want to be with someone that respects me as a man, respects me as a black man, respects my black experience and understands it to a certain point, and that allows the space for us to be who we are.
Yeah.
And so I think that what you've done is you've accomplished that in what I've seen thus far. So it's a place that I felt like, yo, he's respect. He's respect. And even if he's going to ask something, it's not going to be the root of his intentions. Is not going to be a gotcha interview.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, so it's extremely important, for me to acknowledge the obvious, but also understand that when people come on this platform, or think about this platform, the first thing that some may think is gossip. That's not me. Like I told you off camera, I just want to have a conversation between two human beings, and let's have the uncomfortable conversation that most don't want to have, avoid having, or are not going to listen to understand.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So with this dynamic, right, how has life been, for you and your fiance?
It's been obviously the last 7 years have been an absolute nightmare. It was, without going too deep, it's been horrific. I mean, to use any other term would be dishonest.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Do you think that openly gay black men get the same grace as openly gay white men?
Whew. I do not believe that black men get the same grace as white men in general. I think that you add the sexuality aspect on top of that. No, I do not. But I also think, with that said, I also think that we have to look at the way that narratives are framed, the way that narratives are created, and we have to look at the reason why those narratives are created. And we're of a time now, unfortunately, that it's sort of fast food nation. You know, it doesn't have to, we don't actually have to read fully or do the full research. We don't have to, even down to, you know, you get into an argument with your mate. Well, you don't have to like do the work to be a raggedy human being and like go get showered and go to a club and meet somebody and do the deed and do all the dirt. No, you can just jump on an app. So it's given, we're not reading full articles or research or anything like that. We're reading headlines. And then we're drawing a conclusion from that. And then the narrative is based on that. And then it's easier for the people who are lying and placing those narratives in front of us to continue the lie. Yeah. And so what I've seen is, I just understand the world in a completely different way now. Yeah. And I question everything now, brother. I mean, I question probably to a fault, where I have to like check myself sometimes and be like, no, that motherfucker crazy and he did that shit. But I find myself questioning everything now because I don't understand, or I do understand, but I didn't understand as well as I thought I did prior to this, the way that people take a narrative that is a lie and they'll sprinkle it with the truth to make it easier for our people to digest. And the easiest thing to do is to, I remember when we were in the thick of everything, and I remember my mother told me, she said, amongst so many incredible things, she told me, she said, they talk about you like you don't belong to somebody. And she said, you belong to somebody. You belong to me. You belong to God. And she said, what's the easiest way to make your work null and void? They make you the enemy of the people that work is with and for. And so they have to start with the community that you exist the deepest in. So start to alienate you from the Black community, start to alienate you from the queer community so that you have nobody left. So that everybody is they've created such a muck and so much dirt on you that nobody is there any longer to defend you or even bother to even talk about you or even sometimes talk to you because your whole situation is just too much. Yeah. And I think that it's just to drown out the truth long enough so that it doesn't even matter anymore.
A large part of this is educational.
Sure.
Because who would have thought an openly gay man and an openly straight man is having conversations of respect?
Yeah, but I think though that's the thing. I have those conversations all the time. All of my brothers, straight as an arrow. But we talk about my relationships and their relationships in the same breath because it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I think that the most difficult and detrimental thing to me has been, one of my main goals was to unite heterosexual Black men and queer Black men, because I think that all too often we have this tendency to treat our Blackness as if it is the conglomerate and everything else is just a subsidiary, when in actuality we are Black. So what an incredible thing for us to be able to sit across from each other and share our Black experience. Your Black experience doesn't look exactly like mine, but it's still your Black experience and mine is still my Black experience. So it's like, I lead with that. I am for, number one, I am for the freedom of Black people. Mm-hmm. That is what I will always be for, unapologetically. I'm for the freedom of everybody, of course, but I am a Black man. My mother is a Black woman. My fiance is a Black man. My children will be Black. So my nieces, my nephews, my siblings, we are Black. So yes, that is why I am for the freedom and the liberation of Black people. And that does not always rub well with people that don't see the importance in that.
Going through what you did go through, did you feel that that was held against you?
That what was?
You being a gay man.
I have such a hard time answering that question because it's so, I feel like there are multiple answers to that. The quickest answer is yes. But I don't think that it's as clear cut as that. I also think that we have to, what I've been forced to do over the last years is when I take my emotions out of it, which I have a lot of those, when I take my ego out of it even, which I have that connected to it as well, because this affected my livelihood, this affected my life. But when I take all of that out of it, I have to be able to sit back and understand why people would believe what they believed because of the way that it was served to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it would be foolish of me to say, oh, there's no reason. Like people are just dumb and they wanted to believe this because I'm gay. But that's not entirely true. But we cannot have cognitive dissonance where you find out the truth and you see the facts and you still want to believe, because then you're willfully ignorant. And I hope that we're not that. I think that my differences affected me in different ways to whoever did not share those same differences. So I think that to some people, me being Black made them not think so well of me. I think to other people, me being gay did not sit so well with them. I think the fact that I am and always have been very outspoken about the political climate, about social justice, about mass incarceration, about, the killing of our people. I think that doesn't always rub people so well. It's not the fun thing to talk about. It's not the sexy thing to talk about. And I didn't just start doing that when it was the popular thing to do. So I come from a lineage, a strong background of people that fought the system and continue to do so. So I know that I see that this kind of, it's been tough. And I try my best not to say too much about how tough it's been. The only reason being is that I try my best. I don't want people to think that I somehow am saying, woe is me. I never want to be, crying on the couch again like I was with Robin Roberts. That's just, I don't want to give anybody that.
After that interview, what was the result for you that you felt?
It's interesting because I had never watched that interview until the night before I had to testify in my case. And because I had to watch it. Because they were using things from that interview against me.
Yeah.
But that was a Hollywood interview. I didn't owe anybody anything in that interview, if we're keeping it 100. But what I will say is that I answered every single question honestly, but there was a certain level of a performative nature in that interview because it was very rehearsed,
On your part or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
On my part. Absolutely. I mean, I was rehearsed like crazy.
But when a person who may not be familiar with the magnitude of Robin Roberts,
right,
and understanding that it's different than Funky Friday because you don't know what I'm going to ask. I don't even know what I'm going to ask. You know what I'm saying? It's really a conversation that we're having out of my interest and obviously me owing a service to the people who will watch this,
sure,
right? It's one of those things that as you go back in time to really, dare I say damage, dare I say feeling, what was that like for you in a sense that I can't speak for you? I see the optics, obviously watching the documentary, but a lot of things is what was that like?
What was it like going through it?
No, through the Robin Roberts and what came from that interview.
I wish that I had never done it. I mean, that's the truth. I wish that I had never done it. I did not want to do it. But at that time, we didn't know what we were walking into.
Right.
And I was so embarrassed. Here I am, what I perceive to be a strong Black man who just so happens to be gay.
Yeah.
I wanted to normalize what it was to be who and what I am. And I think that we were doing a good job. And look, no man wants to say out loud that he got beat up. It's just not the thing, right? And I think back on that time, all of these things had happened. The head of Fox PR had set it up, and my mentor at the time, Lee Daniels, his publicist had become my crisis PR person. And it was all of these things that were just moving so fast. But the main feeling for me was, and looking back, I could see that there was this level of internalized homophobia that I had myself, that it's like I wanted to say, I said this on Sway a long time ago, but it's like I wanted to say all of the things that other people who had been through what I had been through would need to be said, would want to be said if they had the platform that I had. But I also, I'm shamefully now, I can say it, but I also did not want to be a part of those people, if that makes sense. I wanted to speak for, but I did not want to be a part of that club of someone that had been attacked or assaulted or beat up or jumped, especially for the reason that it seemed like I was. So that's where the performative nature came in of, oh, he hit me, and then I hit his ass back. It's like, what is that? Of putting on to seem less weak. And that certainly comes from, being young and, hearing my pop say, you better know how to fight. People gonna think you a sissy, So what does that say to be 36 years old at the time and have to say, and then go in front of a journalist that you love and you respect a great deal, had a great relationship with her, had worked with her on Empire. She interviewed Jamal, but did not want to talk to her about that.
Not on those terms.
Not on those terms. Having to go, I'm just like, why do I have to go out and tell people what happened to me? It happened to me. Like, why is that owed? And then it became a thing of like all these organizations are calling and it's like, oh, can you do this PSA? Can you do that? And I remember writing to my good friend, Gina Belafonte, and being like, I promise you, I will be the leader that y'all want me to be and you need me to be, but I need some time. And then everything flipped. And it was like, I said it before, I say it again, it was like living in the Twilight Zone. And as much as I, but then fast forward, I've talked about it in probably every way that you possibly can, yet somehow it ends up getting edited to be what the people that I talk to want it to be. So I think that at this point, I've kind of set into the fact that most people have made up their minds what they believe, either in support of me or against me. And either way, okay. Because at this point, my people know. My mother has always known. My siblings have always known. My love has always known. And the people that are closest to me, the Tarajis, the Megans, the Kentas, these are people that are my dear, dear, true friends. Taraji is not a co-star. She was my co-star, but that is my sister. And so leaning into, again, my godmother, Deanna, she said this one time, she's like, you just got to go where the love is. And I've just been trying to live with that. But there are so many rules that are put on us as little Black boys from the moment that we are born. And of course, it's put on, I said this before, it's put on little black girls too, but I grew up as a little black boy into a little black man into a black man, you know? And the rules that are put on us to make us minimize ourselves, to make us not speak up, you know, and to feel like, oh, well, if you speak up for yourself, if you defend yourself, you're not being humble. Why should I be humble? The amount of people that have come to me and said, oh, you need to humble yourself. About what? About what? Or why are you still talking about this? Because y'all still talking about this. Why are you still defending yourself? Because you're still coming at me. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? This could have been a lot easier had I actually done this. Because the way that it works is you admit it, you do this, you do that, you make a donation, you do that, whatever the fake Hollywood thing is that you do. But I don't know how to do that. Like, I am in this business is not in me. And so I don't operate in that same way of, and I think that that's also why sometimes it can come across as, well, what is he doing? Because this is real life. Like, I'm good at doing a fluff interview. We could joke around all day. But when we get down to the nitty gritty, I can't fuck around with y'all like that. No. Like, I can't joke and play about stuff that is really real, that's really happening in this world. Like, I want for people to understand this shit is real. Question everything. Question everything. Question why a police department has an entire PR department. Why would they need that? Just question things. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell people what to think or what to do. Respectfully, like, I've talked about it until I've been blue in the face. And so people are gonna do with what they do. But I have to, for myself, for my spirit, for my soul, and for my future life, for my future babies that I'm gonna have, I gotta move on. Yeah. Because it no longer serves me to continue down the road of, you did this, no, I didn't, you did this, no, I didn't. If you say that 2 + 2 is 93, bitch, it's 93. I really don't care. I really don't care. And again, I have deep, deep, deep love in my heart. I really do, for the people that love me and for the people that don't. But I can't sit here and continue to go around in circles hoping that somebody finally hears me.
Yeah, I don't think that that's the case, because with this opportunity, I owe a respect to so many different things that I have questions for. Because when I see this situation, and I haven't really delved into the actual situation yet, but it's like, let's call a spade a spade. Double minority, you got a lot of things going against you, right? Being a black man with a very skeptical situation or a police department, being queer, right? Doing these things in a sense that, all right, that could all go against you. Sure. In your own people. For us, keeping it funky. The derogatory term growing up was what your dad said. Is, man, nigga, that's gay. Yeah. Man, get your nigga queer ass. Like, those things are derogatory terms that black men do not want to be labeled as. Right. So for me, this is educational. Sure. Because I need to understand and empower everybody to be like, hey, bro, hey, hold on. Respect, hey, chill real quick, bro. Like, and like they always say, we always got one in the black family. But even with those type of situations, that's why I respect this conversation even more, because we don't have those conversations.
But you must. We must. We must.
So it's like, with me, it's like, bro, I want to ask. And then it's like, am I doing too much?
No, and I'll tell you why. And it's so funny that you asked this, because one of my childhood best friend, Kenta, I'm talking to him, and he asked me, he's like, yo, growing up, did I ever say anything? Like, did I ever say anything that was like weird or, you know, made you feel like that, like, you know, like dad was like pause or, and I was like, hey, we old, we wasn't saying pause back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we were saying no homo.
Yeah, right,
you know?
right.
But, and he's like, did I ever do that? And I said, I don't remember you ever doing that. But the fact that he took the time to even ask me that question to me says so much about his integrity. Mm-hmm. And I think that, questions are so necessary for the betterment of our people. Because as we know, if the black man is healthy, the black community will be better for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that why is it bad to ask questions if you don't know? How are you supposed to know if you don't know? And here's the thing. I try my best to recognize the root of people's intentions. Mm-hmm. And if the root of your intention is not to disrespect me, what's the problem with me answering the question?
Yeah.
Our people are not going to learn what they don't know if we who have experienced it do not share what we've been through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I've never sat in your shoes. So if I got questions over, like, how is it to do this? How is it to do that? How is it with your kids? How is it as a father? I'm not a father.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I ask you, who's a father, what it's like? You can hit me to that. Yeah. You can tell me what your experience it is. And it might not be the same experience that I'm going to have, but it's similar enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so if you asking me questions, I don't think that you or anybody else for that matter should feel as if you're doing too much because you're trying to understand a fellow human being in a pure and respectful way.
That's rewarding to hear, but it's typically, you don't want to offend.
No, you don't.
And that's the last thing that a person would do. But there's a lot of times where people are not always open. They're not. I'm having a situation now where it's like, nigga, I got it on right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm fresh.
You put that shit on.
You feel what I'm saying? For somebody, man, look at this goofy, like, well, who does he think he is? A lot of people aren't comfortable in their skin. They're not comfortable in their situation. So that's what may be a hindrance
but that's where other things come into play, and sexuality is not the only thing. Mm-hmm. We should be talking to ourselves about, why is it that we can't sit in our authentic self? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, why is it that we're not okay with just being who we are without putting other shit on that? We're too quick to label something. We're too quick to say, oh, that's that, factually, period, done. No other decision, no other conversation. I say that person is that, therefore they are. No, it doesn't happen like that. We need to start talking to each other more instead of talking at each other. Yeah. And the reason why we're in the position that we are now is because we've spent time letting other people indoctrinate our minds about what we should be believing. Are we not aware that David Duke, who was the head of the KKK, literally used to write pro-black books? Why is this motherfucker writing pro-black books? So that he can seep certain, because they're not really pro-black. It's so that he can seep certain things into that, certain messages into that we're now digesting, that are not meant for us to actually take in. Because it's not for the betterment of our people. How many times have I seen pages on Instagram or Twitter that were like, I have snapshots of this page of like horrible racist DMs, and then all of a sudden they flipped and now they're a black person's page. Like they got a black person's picture as their thing, and they're under there being like, oh, what is that for the black community? It's just, and we're just taking all that in, not realizing that we're being lied to. You understand? Like, that this is deeper than, and look, some people can call some people conspiracy theorists, some people can do, but these conspiracies are real, you know? And I don't want to be a divisive figure. I want to be a figure that is all about love. I want to bring people together. That is all I care about, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. But I'm also not going to let people go out there and talk bullshit and just let it continue to go unchecked. Yeah. I just can't.
How has the situation affected your family, especially mom, siblings, as we're kind of going into this this phase of, hey, what was that experience like? You were on the spotlight, but I don't think a lot of people were paying attention to the support system that you were drawing inspiration from, and how were they affected?
I won't go too deep into how they were affected because I feel like that's their story to tell.
Yes.
But I will say that, obviously when you love somebody and they're going through something horrible, it was like, for like my mom and stuff like that, like, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was definitely rough. And man, like it was rough. it was something that, but I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm such a loved man by my family, and but it was rough on them.
When this situation happens, or when situations happen, to downplay it would be almost utterly disrespectful. But
I tried to at first.
Okay.
Tried to downplay it. You know what I mean? Tried to just try to
mask it.
Yeah, like, y'all, it's a fight. I got into a fight. Like, everybody gets into a fight. It's not that deep. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Stop. Just stop. But it just spins out of control. And so, I don't know.
I remember having this conversation with Brittany Griner. And
she been through some.
Right?
Yeah.
So I remember asking her this, and I'll ask you the same. When was it the moment where you knew, oh, this is bigger than what I could have ever imagined it to be?
2 moments. When I came home from the hospital and I heard on the news, special report that I had been jumped, and I had to call my mother and tell her. That brought it all home. And then I was on the set of Empire shooting my wedding scene. I've never told this story before. I was on the set of Empire shooting my wedding scene, and my lawyer called me. I was using my entertainment attorney all that time. My lawyer called me and he said, if they come to arrest you at set, just go with them. What? Who? What? Because there were whispers, but it's like we hadn't heard anything. We hadn't heard anything bad like that. And then I had to go back and shoot the scene. And I'm like, what do they think happened? What do they think I had to do with? What do they think that I did? But I still had to go back and do the scene. And I remember leaving and doing the scene where we jumped over the broom. And so my character and the character's husband got married. And I remember turning to Toby, who had become a good friend, and he was playing my character's husband. And I remember saying, as we jumped over the broom, saying, run. Like I turned to him and I said, under my breath, I said, run. And we ran. And because I knew at that moment that was my last time shooting on Empire. I just knew it. And I'm like, this is not going to be good. We had already done the Robin interview, but it hadn't aired yet. So we did it, and then it aired a couple of days later. So when we first did it, we didn't know what we were really.
It hasn't settled in.
Yeah, so we didn't know what we were what to expect, and instead, it aired after it turned against me. So everybody was watching that interview with a different set of eyes than they would have. And it just went from there.
What was the most disappointing thing?
Oh, Lord. There's so many disappointing things.
I could only imagine, as you're painting this picture of like, yo, I'm at work. You get a call, still got to go back to work.
Yeah. It's in between takes.
Yes.
Like we're waiting for them to do another setup. I have a missed call from my lawyer and I got to call him back.
Yeah.
And that's what he tells me.
But even to that, all the while, you play spades?
I know how to play spades, but I don't play spades all the time. So let me just shut up. I'm not going to say that because I don't want y'all to sit there and try to bring out some damn cards and I got to play spades and now I look like a damn fool.
No, I'm
black though. Do not.
We got you. We got you.
You know my fucking nerves.
In spades, they use this, I'm going to keep one tucked.
Okay.
Right? Well, in this situation, that interview is still tucked. Nobody knows. Mm-hmm. And oh man, we support you. Are you all right? Those stereotypical, energies that people may give off, the interview comes out. Mm-hmm. And now the same people are now looking at you through a different lens or through a different assumption.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. So anything you say and then also, again, it goes back to what you said at the top of the interview where it's like it all depends on the edit. I've never seen something where, because I've done so many interviews in my life, but none of them have been like really emotional interviews because they didn't have to be.
For sure. For sure.
And so sitting there and doing that interview and then looking back and I'm like, so that doesn't look honest though, because they cut out the breath of air. You know what I mean? Like they cut out that. So it's like, they're not tracking the actual line of emotions.
What led
You know
to
what I
that?
mean? Like it's just 1 minute you're sitting there and you're explaining something, the next minute you're just like crying. And you're like, but it didn't happen that way. Yeah. It didn't happen that way. And so when you cut out air, you cut out breath, you cut out words, you can shape something into being something that it's not. Yeah. And that it never was. And so that's what ended up happening.
Through it all, right? The $1 million question that anybody would want to ask, are you still sticking with the story?
There is no story. Are they still sticking with the story? I've stuck with the truth the entire time. Now, there have been things that with me telling the truth that people will, because it's like, I remember it being where they were like, oh, he did a hoax. And I was like, I did not. And then they're like, well, he was buying cocaine. And I was like, my bad. You know what I mean? Like, that was true. That was true. Or they're like, oh, he did this. No, the fuck I did not. Or well, he was buying that. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, I was. But that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So I just want to separate the bullshit from the truth that they tried to put on it. The fact of the matter is that I was walking down the street and I got jumped. Didn't have anything to do with setting that shit up because I'm a grown-ass man and have no reason to do no corny bullshit like that. If I was gonna set up some bullshit to look for attention, I would look like a hero, I wouldn't look like a victim. If I was gonna set up some bullshit and I was really a dumbass to do some shit like that, I'm a director, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a creator. It would have been flawless. It would have been fierce. It would have been wonderful. It would not have been no bullshit like whatever dumbass did it, period. Now, whoever really did it, congratulations to them because they actually got away with it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, do not come at me like I'm some complete idiot. I'm a very intelligent man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Humble, all of those things.
Yeah.
But come on, I'm an intelligent man. I stand in who I am. I've gone out there and I've told who I am when I did not have to. I did not have to. I've been very honest about my life and about who I am from the very beginning of my career when I didn't have to do that, because there's a lot of people that don't. They don't have to do that. So it just doesn't run with the history of me. It doesn't run with who I've ever been. And that has to stand for something. People's history should mean something. Mm-hmm. I've never been a frivolous man. I've never been an attention whore. I've never been any of those things. So you cannot then pull me into this and convince me to start seeing myself through the eyes of other people. Yeah. Again, I've said what I've said for 7 years. I've never changed my story. Everyone else has. I would have no reason. I have nothing to gain from that at all. I did not want to be seen as a victim. But with that said, whatever people are convinced of, if they do think that I'm sticking to a story, okay. And I say that, and I know that it sounds like on the surface, it could seem like
disingenuous.
It can seem arrogant.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It absolutely could, but you gotta understand and you gotta remember, it's been 7 years for me.
Yep.
It's been 7 years for me. I was 36 when this happened. I'm 43 years old.
Dang.
Right.
I'm messing with you.
Gray as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm still me. Mm-hmm. And so at a certain point, I've got to let it go. And I know I keep saying that, and then I'll start talking about it because I'm also a human being who, I don't want people to think that I lied about that. I don't want people to think that I'm some frivolous ass attention whore in that way. Like, no, not at all.
We're talking about a human that has real feelings, that have real thought process.
Sure.
Was there ever a time, as things transpired, that you took yourself outside of your situation and seen what somebody could think?
Absolutely.
And what was that?
Well, it was the whole thing. Mm-hmm. The whole thing, the way that it was served. You got to understand too, man, that I didn't fully get, for like the first year, I didn't fully understand how bad it was. Mm-hmm. Because when I say that I had been excommunicated from everything, I had been excommunicated from everything. It wasn't until COVID hit that I jumped back online. I mean, like, I gladly, but I still did, gave away my passwords, gave away my social media. My family changed my password, did not let me have it because I couldn't look in. I went years without Googling what people were saying about me. And again, it wasn't until we were getting ready for a trial that I started looking at stuff. And of course I knew what it was because I was living it, but it wasn't until I started to really look at stuff that I saw how bad it was and the narratives that were out there. I didn't know. And let me be real, I knew, but I didn't know to what extent. Right. So I think that looking at things, being like, wait, he said something against me? Wait, she made a joke? Wait, he called me what? You know what I mean? Not fully being able to understand that and then seeing how real it was, that it had become, it was no longer PR, it was no longer political, it was cultural.
Yeah.
And that to me was eye-opening. I think, I don't know if that answered the question, but there were probably too many moments to, wait, what was the question again, Cam? You said.
Was there ever a moment in time where you saw something and taking yourself out of that situation and saying, okay, I can see how they could see something that may not, like, I'm taking yourself out of your situation.
Taking myself out of it being me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taking on now the things that people are seeing, reading, hearing. Mm-hmm. And as you're seeing it for yourself, did you ever feel that, oh, I see why y'all could think that?
Yes. From certain things that were, I remember there was a text message. I said I wasn't going to get deep, but I'm getting deep. I remember there was a text message that went public that I had written to one of the brothers. And it said, may need your help on the low. Mm-hmm. And I remember so clearly that when they asked me about that, when they asked me about that, I gave a and I'm trying to be careful how I word this so that I don't, because I just don't want no shit. I don't want no shit no more.
Take your time.
I answered the question in February of 2019, the truth of what it was for, which was actually for a weight loss thing. And I didn't know that information was already in the police files, but it was. And so I told the truth. It's provable. It's in the files. But when I saw that was out there, I was like, okay. I mean, if they set that up and they say that this is when blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that could look like that. That was absolutely one of the things I was like, oh, that looks bad. Yeah. Like they're gonna, like I could see why they would think this means this and this means that when it absolutely doesn't. So see, every single thing that I've ever said, I said before anybody was calling me a liar. I said before anybody was saying, oh, this is the narrative that we're gonna go with.
Right.
So, but yeah, and that's not the only thing. There were tons of things. Like I saw even down to, they try to take the salaciousness of, sexual things or whatever it may be, and they take it and it's a thing of what people don't understand about a certain person's life. Having to explain all of your eccentricities is never easy.
Yeah.
Having to explain even your recklessness is not easy when somebody's trying to take your recklessness and show everybody that that's proof as to why you would do something that you actually never would.
Yeah. So I'll say it this way, and this is an unspoken truth in our culture. As a parent, you say it to your children. As a child, you hear this from your loved ones. Mm-hmm. I'll ride with you, but just don't lie to me.
There you go.
So why I say that is because this ain't even a black folk thing. Niggas, we gonna ride with you now. We gonna ride for the most. Boy, you dumb as hell. You did
but
what?
But you my dumb as hell.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, and what everybody should understand. We ride with people, but there came a point in time where it's like, all right, my nigga, hey, tell me what happened.
Right.
Keep it a buck with me. Hey, hold on, we coming out. What you say? You show. Because I'm going to ride with you now. Now, if you lying to me, nigga, you done told your britches, and that's our code.
But that's the thing also, though, is that there is a moment where we also know between ourselves that you don't have to. Mm-hmm. There's a moment where you're just like, yeah, but you don't have to. That's the reason why it's like, I can actually say to you about the coke. I can actually say to you about the this. It's like, you're actually okay with accepting the things that you've actually done. What you cannot do, and what I would really, really, really stress to people, because there's so many people behind bars that have said that they did things that they did not actually do, because in the short run, it's easier to just cop a plea.
Right.
It's easier to just say that you did something that you didn't do so you can get them off your back. But once you're in the system, you're in the system. Mm-hmm. And it's not easy to get out of the system. So do not admit to something that you did not do if you did not do it. I'm okay. Again, we could talk about what I did in my life. We could talk about all of those things, because I'm actually I'm ashamed of certain things, because I never want to fall short and never want to disappoint young people or old people that may look to me as an inspiration, because I know the people that I looked up to growing up. But I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. I actually am cool if people want to come to me and they want to talk about things that I am like, yeah, that happened. I'm sorry that happened in my life, but that has nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about this, you're not going to get me to say I did some shit that I didn't do.
Right. So much that's going through my brain, because we all want to be accepted.
I think so.
We all want to be respected.
Sure.
And nobody wants to be the butt of any joke. All right, y'all ragging on me too much. Hey, easy.
Don't go too far.
Don't go too far. But there's people
Shut the fuck
that
up.
went far. Music videos, stand-up comedy, name being associated with far. As you're witnessing these things, Kendrick Lamar.
I love Kendrick Lamar.
What, you still love him?
Yeah. What I got an issue with Kendrick for?
Dave Chappelle.
I ain't got no issue with Dave Chappelle. I don't know these people, so it's kind of like, what would be the reason for me to have an issue with them? Because they don't know me either.
But they think they know your situation.
That's fine. And I don't know also, maybe I'm completely naive.
Yeah.
So don't fucking fill me in about anything. I don't want to be filled in.
Right.
But I don't know what Kendrick meant by the video. I really don't. So, because I just don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, I respect him as an artist, and that's about as far as it can go. You ain't gonna see me putting out no diss track against him.
No, we don't want to see that.
I'm not doing
We
that.
don't want to see that. You mean to tell me you couldn't sing a song
Like,
that be like,
I'm good.
That ain't it.
Okay.
But I think through those times, I really want to understand that because, like I said, nobody wants to be the butt of anybody's joke.
Yeah, but bro, you got to realize, like, those were probably the least of my concerns.
Wow.
Because for everything that was actually happening, you're just not, for me, I was not connected to those things in that way. Look, my nickname growing up was Juicy. Fuck, I care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you say much worse things, bruh, than what you said about me. So it's like, we good. I respect him for what he has accomplished and what he means to the community, and I'll leave it at that.
Do you think after what you've been through, do you feel accepted in the Black community?
I feel accepted by my community. And stay with me, Oprah. Stay with me. I feel accepted by my community. What I realize is that just because you are Black does not mean that you are in my community. Just because you are gay does not mean that you are in my community. It just so happens that most of my community is Black and or gay. Those people are my community because they love on me, they support me, and they will hold my feet to the fire, and they will hold me accountable when I'm needed to be held accountable.
Right.
And they will understand me when I need to be understood. So I can't answer that because on one hand, I've never experienced personally, when I tell you I've never been chastised in public ever throughout this whole thing. So see, people are really, really brave. Super brave, super brave, super brave. But I've never been challenged in that way in public. It's always love. And I think that that's also because I'm not a divisive guy. Like, I'm not a man that walks around with vitriol in his heart. I really am a man that walks with love in my heart, you know? And so I don't give that off, and I don't receive that. But also, with that said, I can't speak for an entire community. I can't speak for the people that I come across are lovely. And the people who have supported me in my indie films that I've put out since then, and, you know, my record, you know, all of that type of stuff. We've had number one records since then. We've had number one films since then. We've had, you know, I'm doing my third film that I'm directing and starring in, this one in London in first quarter of 2026. This has made things extremely difficult, but it has not stopped me. And so what ended up happening is that there was always the plan to do it myself, to produce myself, to finance things myself. But you know, in 2019, after that happened, it kind of put everything in overdrive because I was, this isn't a dream. Like, you have to do this because this is the only way. Ain't nobody fucking with you. Ain't nobody nobody.
Nobody's gonna save you, bro.
Nobody's gonna save you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and nobody cares about you and or your cause more than you.
But you've been open about being an activist. It's in your bloodline, right? It's these things that.
But bro, it's in my bloodline, but here's the difference with me and some people. It's in my bloodline. It is not my brand. Watch out for people that activism is a part of their brand, because your brand is what you sell. And therefore it means that your brand, you will sell your political views. You'll sell your ideas of social justice. It's buyable. Mine is not buyable. And that's not always the funnest thing to be around, but it's like, I think I'm fun to be around. It is what it is.
Yeah. That was my biggest kind of question mark coming in here.
What's up?
It was like, is he going to get defensive?
I would, but number one, there's kind of, at this point, there's really no question that anybody can ask me that I have not either been asked or heard someone say or have asked myself, you know? This is not, like, I'm not sitting across from you because I just woke up and, you know, put some makeup under my eyes and was like, oh, okay, you know, everything is fine. I'm sitting in front of you because this is work.
Yeah.
Like, this is work that has been done. I did not just roll over and play dead and let all of this happen for 7 years, and I've just been sitting idly by watching it happen without working on myself. There was work to be done. And here's the thing, the universe, God, ancestors, whoever you want to believe it is, they will grab you by the back of your neck and say, I will strip all of this shit that you built and I will strip it all down if that's what it takes. Because the path that I was going down as far as being reckless, it's so odd that it happened in this way, but there is something to be said. There was a certain recklessness of that kind of that Hollywood life, the being alienated in the world in which you are used to existing in and living in, while also it's just like a lot of shit happened that people don't even know. Like my pops died the day that Empire first aired on television. He died that morning. So when fame or whatever it is kind of came to me like that, after working all of those years, and then all of a sudden it just comes from Empire, I didn't know how to take all of that in. Like, my father was dead. And while I was filming the first season and playing a gay singer whose father, who was homophobic, was dying, Lucius at the time. They changed up the storyline. Nigga ain't got ALS no more or whatever. But but before that, we thought he was dying. People didn't know that my father, who I had problems with about my sexuality, was dying of cancer. So when that happened, there was a certain place that I couldn't connect with. And a part of that I couldn't connect with was the fame part of it. You feel guilty about that. Like, you feel grief comes in all of these different waves of you feeling like, I'm sad and then I'm happy about this, but I shouldn't be happy about this because I'm sad. I feel guilty now that I'm having this type of thing happening. No, but he would have wanted this to happen. This is your It's all of these things, and it's a tug of war. And then suddenly everybody's giving you shit, like just giving you like whatever you want, and sometimes things that you don't want and you don't need. And you almost just become gluttonous in that way. Like, how much is too much? How much of one thing is too much? And I was spinning. And it was not until things happened in 2019 that I entered therapy. I just had to start doing the work, because I knew that even though there was an entire system against me and there was an entire narrative that was lying against me, it still was important for me to acknowledge whatever. In every single situation, unless you're a child or someone that's being molested or raped, you have no responsibility and no blame for that. But usually, especially for an adult, there's usually some sort of responsibility that you can accept in a situation. And so I was searching, man. Like I was searching throughout this. What are the things that I can accept responsibility? Because I remember being on the phone. I won't name who it is. He knows who he is. But I was on the phone with someone who was one of my bosses. And I remember him calling me up and saying, I love you. I apologize. I believe you. You need to say that you did it. Why would I say that I did something that I did not do? Because that's what everybody wants to hear. Because that's what everybody believes. So you see, like, that's the way that people think sometimes, but you cannot fall for that. Like, you can't fall into that. I don't exist in the world for what people, it's almost like, and tell me if you experience this, but it's like, once you start making money, and I've said this a million times, but once you start making money off of your art, your creation, your talent, you somehow leave that and you start to become a customer service agent. Yeah. And when I was a customer service agent, when I worked retail, when I was a waiter, when I worked answering phones and all that type of stuff, the number one rule of customer service is that the customer is always right. But the customer is not always right. They're just not. So to kind of capitulate and just be like, oh, whatever they want to hear, let's just give it to them. Well, what is that going to do to me in the long run? What is that going to do to me in the long run? Because once I say a lie about something that I did not do, I can't take that shit back. I can't come back and be like, yo, actually, I didn't do that. No, you can't do that. So it's just all of these strange rules and kind of going on a tangent, but
no, I'm with
you got to know yourself, man. Like you got to stick to who you are and you got to know that shit.
It's funny that you say that because I had a moment like that.
Yeah.
Right when my second round in Carolina, I didn't know what was going to happen with my career. Mm-hmm. I was in such a different phase where I knew I was out of the franchise quarterback phase, where franchise quarterback and the quarterback is two different quarterbacks and two different football players, right? Like franchise quarterback gets priority. A quarterback is secondary, if that. It's like you're disposable. Mm-hmm. There were people in my circle that was like, yo, take it. Like, take the deal. Like, bro, like you ain't gonna make this type of money no more, ever. You better be lucky that they want you to be a backup.
You should be grateful.
You see what I'm saying?
You should be grateful that they not giving you what you deserve. They're giving you something. Why? Why?
But that, for me, like as you're talking, I'm saying like, yo, that kind of like, nigga, you own to something. But for me, I was like, hold on, bro. I know what my standards are. I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it. I never, ever wanted to have my jersey on another team outside of the Carolina Panthers.
That's what's up.
Just so happened, it didn't work there. I went to, obviously New England, and then had the opportunity to come back. Grateful for that experience too. And I did not think that was my last opportunity putting on shoulder pads. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, the ego in you are like, bro, nigga, you Cam Newton, nigga, like, what do you, get a job? Like, bro, I'm not gonna back up nobody. I'm not gonna do that. I wanna compete. But the reality starts to sink in and it's like, hold on, bro, that shoulder ain't what it would, that foot ain't what that ankle, but them knees. And then you start to say, but I got kids. Mm-hmm. Nigga, I'm 33.
You got responsibilities.
I got big responsibilities. Yeah. Like, how I'm gonna figure this out? But it's one of those things that it's like, bro, just trust. You know what's in you. They don't know what's in you.
No, they don't. Even if they tell you that they do.
Yes.
They do not. We are raised to always Acknowledge when we do something wrong. Accept responsibility when you fuck up. That is so important. So important. I will teach my children all of it.
Yeah.
I will also teach my children that when you do something good, when you do something commendable, when you do something that you would be proud of your friend or your family member for doing it and you do it, it's okay to be proud of yourself too. It's okay to be like, I did that and that was amazing. It doesn't mean that your humility is all of a sudden just gone. It doesn't mean any of that type of stuff. It means that you're honest.
Yeah.
You're so honest that you're even honest about the good shit that you've done.
Right.
And the fact that you are someone's inspiration. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Why are we expected to sit around and act as if we are less than we actually are? Life is too short and life is too long.
But let me say this though, and I want to make sure that you know this. People like you.
But here's the thing.
And I don't want you to feel like, yo, like it's me against the world, because that's not
but
the
I
case.
don't. But
okay.
let me be clear.
Say less.
I don't, because I did. But I don't. And part of that also comes from the work that you do on yourself. See, I know in which parts of this my ego are attached. I know it, you know? And so that's why, because I know it, because I know it, and because I can acknowledge it, because I can accept it and even speak on it out loud, it allows me to not let it get too much. It allows me to be able to check myself, because it's like checks and balances. It's like, no, you can't clean something up if you just continue to lie to yourself and act like it's not dirty in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, it's so funny because half of the motherfuckers in the world think I'm a lying ass bitch. So it's so funny to me, because honesty is so freaking important to me. It's the most important thing in my life. My mother raised us with this saying, and we would always laugh. She'd be like, oh, honor honesty, honor honesty, honor honesty. You don't have to look over your shoulder if you just honor honesty. And since this shit has happened, it's like even more so, I find myself, like checking myself on the regular, even like a small little thing, because I'm still insecure about anybody thinking that I'm a liar. So I find myself maybe oversharing sometimes, but also more than anything on the positive side, seeing the way in which people lie, and seeing in which even like these small little white lies that we think aren't big, every single lie that someone tells has an effect on someone else. Even if it could be a small effect or it could be a big effect. Even if, let's say, I'm working at a restaurant, I call up my boss and I'm like, hey, I'm sick. I can't come in today. Ain't that big of a deal. They'll find somebody else to do it. But because you lied your ass, because you want to go to the fucking Janet Jackson concerts, I don't know. You lied. Somebody else has to pick up your slack. Somebody else, your manager got to find. You know what I'm saying? It could be as small as that, but every single lie has an effect. So being aware of that and not allowing yourself to lay in that even for a moment, but also not allowing other people to do it either, it can make some people uncomfortable.
There are some people who may feel or do feel a sense of betrayal. Some in the Black community, some in the LGBTQ, let me get my letters right, LGBTQ plus community. Do you feel that you owe them an explanation?
I feel that I have given as much of an explanation as I possibly can. I think that I have laid it out and said all of the things that I do know for sure. But there are certain things that I don't know for sure, but there are things that I do know for sure. Mm-hmm. You can't necessarily, there's no way for me who experienced this to tell y'all beat by beat what happened outside of the moments that I experienced. It's just not possible for me to do that because I don't know.
Right.
But I can tell you what did not happen. So you see what I mean? Like, I might not be able to tell you exactly what did happen, but I can tell you exactly what did not happen. And I feel like I've done that, which is also why I keep saying that I respect everybody. I love everybody. I really genuinely mean that. But I have to just accept for myself that, and it's very difficult to do so, that people have made up their mind. People have made up their mind either way. There are people that think that I am the worst person in the world. Then there are people that think that I got a raw deal. And then there are people that just don't care either way. And then there are people that are just like, oh, well, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And, you know, he deserves to move on. That bothers me more than anything, to be quite honest. Like, that bothers me more than the people that are just like, oh, he's trash, throw him away. But this is the world in which I live. What I have to just keep remembering, or else I'll go crazy, is I have to remember that if I'm blessed enough to live another 40 years, you know, if I'm blessed, I'm really trying to start this whole thing. I've been talking to Carl Lewis about starting some sort of campaign where Black men, where we are celebrating each other and really forcing ourselves to aim to live past 100. Because I feel like it's possible. A centritarian? Let me tell you, bro. If you plan to live past 100, you got to start now at 36. I got to start now at 43. You got to start now at 20. That means that my mental has to be on. My emotional has to be on. My physical has to be on. I can't be like drinking all the time. I can't be smoking all the time. I can't be, you know, there's just a certain level of responsibility, and you can't be as frivolous as one would think that they would be if they think that they have all the time in the world. Because something happened when I turned 41, where it was like, people close to me, I have a lot of elder friends. A lot of like my mentors are 70, 80 years old, and they started dying. And it's interesting, like once you start seeing that, you start seeing like your people start leaving, you really are set with like your own mortality. And you start to see other people's parents, you know, leaving this realm. And you start to see all of that happening. And either one of two things can happen. Either you can just ignore it and keep on down the path, or you start looking around. I know for me, I started looking around being like, I just want to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be. I want to, but anyway, long story short, if I were to live another 40 years, God willing, another 60 years, hopefully with all that I have accomplished, all that I have done, and all that I will continue to do, hopefully this whole thing that happened would be, if they were to do a 2-hour documentary on my entire life, hopefully this would be like 7 to 10 minutes in that documentary. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start looking at the big picture, because it's so easy to get caught up in the nowness of it and the effects that it's had on your life, that you can really start to forget just how blessed you still are.
Let me ask you this, and this is me, the curiosity, or the curious individual.
Well, what the fuck has this been all this time? The fuck? This ain't been the curious ass you?
No. It's definitely been, but like, I want to ask it with all due respect, and the experience.
You know, niggas always say all due respect when they about to be mad disrespectful. Go ahead, Cam.
It ain't, but what was jail like?
Oh my God. God.
It is important to state that the conviction was overturned.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, by the Supreme Court.
For sure. So, with it being overturned, I want to ask, how was the 6 days?
6.5 days. Don't fucking take my damn.
Right. It's another teardrop.
Right?
How was that?
Like, the fact that I'm giving y'all like homo thug over here, like, the fuck? No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. Shout out to all my people that are incarcerated. And let's start by saying the prison industrial complex is bullshit. It needs to be broken down because it is nothing but modern day slavery. And let me also say that I'm very aware of my privilege, that I have the resources to defend myself, because there are so many people out there that do not have the resources. And like I said before, accept plea deals or say that they did something that they didn't really do. So let me just before I start, being silly and joking, like, let me just make sure that everyone knows that that is a very real thing. But yeah, man, when I was in jail, it was some bullshit. And fucking 6.5 days. And I ain't never talked about it. I've never talked about it. Like we've like talked around it, but I've never talked about it. We were getting a lot of threats before I was sentenced. And everybody, myself, my family, everybody. And so I was really concerned. And that's why when I was leaving the courtroom, I was just like, I'm not suicidal and I'm innocent.
Was that a cry out for what?
That was to let people know if anything happened to me that I need for y'all to look deeper, because I saw what happened to different people, and I don't like to bring up names only because I feel like their families have never asked any one of us.
We get it.
You know what I mean? To bring them up.
We get it.
But I just know what can happen. And so it was a way
You know what you've heard happen.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. But what I am saying is that I didn't want that to happen to me. And so I said what I said. It wasn't, pre-planned. I actually had a full statement that I had written. It was fire.
How was you gonna get that?
It was a fire statement.
How you was gonna get it off though?
Because they were going to say, after the judge did his whole, play that he did, his Auntie Mame play that he did, then I was gonna be allowed to speak. And right before I was about to read my fantastic statement, I was pulled in the back and they told me, please don't read it. Like, please do not read this statement. Dang. They're like, if you read this statement, you will get over a year. And we already know. I don't know if that's true or not, but I didn't read the statement. And instead, I kind of just started, they're like, do you have anything to say? And I just said that one thing. And then my older sister, Jazz, was sitting over there and she did like this. And it just pumped me up even more. It hypes you up.
I like you.
And it was a hard experience. So my sister was literally like, Jazz did like this when I first said it. And then so I said it again. And then I felt like I had made her proud. So I was like, that's my big sister. Like, that's my, but then I started getting more hyped about it and a little anxious about it. And I'm just like, there was a part of me that was like, it may sound dramatic to people that don't really fully understand, but it was like, well, if this is the last time that anybody sees me, there was that fear, then I'm going to say the thing that they should hear. And then I went inside and it was insane. I didn't eat the entire time. I only had water. I really thought they was going to poison me. I know, but I really did think that. So I just didn't know. I didn't know.
So what?
I did not eat a thing for 6.5 days, not one thing. I'm like, my boy Jesus did it for 40 days. Listen. I could do it for 6.5.
But you didn't know.
I didn't know when I was gonna get out, but I was just like, I was waiting for the appeal. So I was kind of like, well, I'll wait. And if I find out that I'm gonna be here, then I gotta eat, because I can't be here for 5.5 months and not eat. But it was 6.5 days. I did not eat. I said I wasn't suicidal, so I guess that they thought that meant that I was. So they put me in a psych ward. I'm sleeping on this, it's like a concrete slate, that I was sleeping on. And I'm like, we ain't got no mattress, no nothing.
And then you dolo?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have
Yeah, I was by myself. And then, but I had the guards were there. The officers were there with me. They were actually really nice. The dudes that were there guarding me, really nice. My door was always open. And I didn't eat. And they kept on being like, oh, do you want these cookies? And I'm like, no, bro, thank you. I don't want these cookies. And they kept on saying, well, Robert liked these cookies. And I'm just like, I just kept on hearing that. And I never asked, like, what are you talking about? And then they just like, well, Robert liked these cookies. Robert liked these cookies. And I'm like, at a certain point, I was like, who the fuck is Robert? And they like, R. Kelly.
Y'all was in the same spot?
Nah, we wasn't in the same spot, but apparently he had been in the same spot before being transferred, if that makes sense. Oh. This is what I was told.
Okay.
I don't know this to be fact, but this is just what I was told. But I'm like, what that got to do with me? So I'm supposed to eat the cookies. Like, what the fuck? What that got to do with me?
It's not supposed to be funny.
So then I go up there and they would give me like 30 minutes to be on the phone. And I told my mom that I was gonna call her at a certain time. And so, I mean, like we had to do a million things I was literally on the phone. I had to call my brother at one point while I was inside. And he had to connect me to Mona Scott Young so that we could get on the phone and work out the deal for B-Boy Blues to be on BET+. Like, shit was still happening.
You got motion.
Like, life still had to continue. And I had responsibilities. So I was like, I can't just let stuff fall. So I was using the phone whenever I had the phone. Whenever I had phone privileges, I was trying to do what I had to do. But at this point, my mom was expecting my call. So anytime my mom is expecting my call, I'm making sure that like I call her exactly at that time because I don't want her to be worried. And there was this dude named Cologne, you know, who had been the star of the Psych Ward, but then I came through.
Of the Psych Ward or the
stay with me, Oprah.
Keep going.
The Psych Ward is in the jail.
Okay.
All right?
Say less.
So stay with me.
I'm here.
So then I'm about to use the phone for my phone privileges, and this motherfucker Cologne starts being like, I'm gonna hurt myself. So they pull him out, and they have to put me back in my cell. And he comes out, he sits in my space that I'm about to sit right by the phone, and all of a sudden he's all good. So I start to get mad, and I start to be like, you need to get that motherfucker. I said, y'all need to get that motherfucker back in his cell before I kick his ass. And then he said, oh, you gonna kick my ass? You gonna kick my ass, motherfucker? And then so I thought to myself, I said, the only way to deal with this crazy motherfucker is to show him that you a crazier motherfucker. So I said, yeah, nigga, I'm gonna kick your motherfucking ass. And he went back into his cell, and I went and I called my mother. The end. And that is how jail was. You still curious, Cam?
On next episode, we're gonna talk to Cologne and see if this was. Never stop. All right.
Is that the jail story you wanted?
It is.
That's the jail story you got.
What did you? Well, after you went without eating, what did you eat when you got out?
I ate shrimp diavolo.
You talking to a nigga that just like Alfredo.
I went and I had pasta, and it was like a spicy shrimp dish. And then I went back to my hotel, and I threw up. Like, it just didn't sit well. So,
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're recently engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How has Jabari helped you through this period? And what was like, where we found love in a hopeless...
A very hopeful place.
Hopeful place.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun,
You know, I've been
dun.
really, really good over the last years of keeping my my love life private. And I'm really glad that I did. Because you don't claim nobody until they claimable. And I'm still gonna hold to that. Like, I'm still gonna keep this for myself. Sure. But what I will say is that he's just a special dude. Like, he's a, you know, I've known him for a decade. he is truly my best friend outside of the love stuff. Like, he's truly my best friend and my partner in every way. So, you know, I love him very much.
That's what so a decade. So I'm over here, 1, 2, carry the 1, 2.
That means 10 years, Cam.
I understand the 10 years part, but when you start doing the math, you add in cologne, then you add
Well, no, we wasn't. I mean, I didn't fucking date cologne.
No, but I'm saying these are all the things that you got to process. It's been, 2 hours? We sit down and I'm like, hold on. Were you guys dating throughout everything that you were going through?
No, but we were friends throughout the entire thing. We were friends throughout the entire thing. We started dating after we did a film together, The Lost Holiday. Yeah. He played my husband. He played Vivica Fox's son. And that's on Amazon Prime right now. So that came out this year, actually. Yeah. And then after that, we shot that 2 years ago. And after we shot it and we played each other, it was like, yo, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing? Stop this. Just stop all this foolishness. Let's just... And then we did.
But going through what you've been through, were you able, what about him that you felt safe and trusted? Because
he knew me before.
Say less.
He knew me before. I don't think that I would have been able to connect with somebody who I met after all of this happened. Right. Because I still would have been insecure about, do they know me? Like, do they know? And it's interesting because I was talking to someone years ago. I was talking to someone and they said they thought that they were being kind and God blessed them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, their heart was in the right place. But they said, I don't care whether you did it or not. And that was the last time I spoke to them. Because my feeling couldn't take that because, number one, no, I need for you to care if I did it or not. Right. Number one, because I don't want to question your integrity. I want, if you think I did, I want you to question me and I want you to tell me that I was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to think that that type of thing would be okay, you know? But also, more than anything, I want somebody that knows me and knows. I remember my brother saying, like, it's not a thing of believing him. I know him. To say I believe him would be as if there's an option to not believe him. And there is no option because I know him. So I don't trust people easily. And I did before. I would trust someone and then you had to break that trust. And even still, I might still deal with you, you know? But now it's a thing of, I just don't have the time. Like, I just don't have the capabilities any longer to deal with people that play, as the youngsters say, in my face. Yeah. You know, it's either we are or we are not. Either you love me or you don't. Either you are trustworthy or you're not. Either you're loyal or you're not. And there's just certain people, I keep saying also, I try my best to, I feel like we judge people on how they treat the people that they love, but I'm now judging people on how they treat the people that they don't love. Because it's real easy to be kind to the people and be giving and be loyal to the people that you love. But what really is telling is how you are when you no longer fuck with them, when they no longer fuck with you. Are you malicious? Are you manipulative? Petty. Will you petty? Are you gonna go out there and just lie on them and try to take down their livelihood and all of the things? Or can you just walk away from them and say, we are not good anymore, and there's a period after that? I would rather the latter. I respect the latter much more.
This album, Breakout.
Finally. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit.
Well, fuck. During the Netflix special... Let me stop playing.
Fuck. Fuck you, Cologne.
Cologne.
That probably was the name. Motherfucking name probably wasn't even Cologne. Watch, I'm gonna get a lawsuit from Cologne.
How did he get the name Cologne? Did you ever care to find that out?
Cam, we didn't bond.
But you know how
Like, we didn't sit in Lucius Lyon's office and just fucking like bond like we're doing right now.
Yeah, but you got a lot of time.
I had 6.5 days.
That's a lot of time.
I don't even know how long he had, but you know, that's not my story to tell. I ain't gonna tell that brother.
But you know how when you start talking to folks and you be like, hey, what's up with old boy? Like, why his name?
But I wasn't in his cell. His cell was down the block. He was like 4 cells down. You know, I had a little corner office with a window.
You had a window?
Don't hate on me.
Did you get to see the...
You're hating on me.
I am not.
Stop.
I'm not. See this, look.
And then they took me out of there, and then the last 2 days, this is what I forgot to tell you, the last 2.5 days, I actually was in a normal cell, the one that I would have been in had I stayed for 5.5 months. And that didn't have a window, so I was a little sad. But that didn't have a window. It was just this really weird, like, wall. I'm just kidding. And then, but I did have a TV.
In the cell?
In the cell. There was a TV in the cell.
Was it a smart TV? That's not...
I don't know. It was just a regular TV.
Am I playing too much?
It was like a small TV.
I really... Like, could you...
When y'all watch this back and y'all want to edit some shit to see if we playing too much, then they will. But
I really wanted to, like, bro, they got a lot of stuff there.
They had a TV. It was all they had in there. It wasn't anything fancy or whatever. And it had like 2 channels. I had to ask them to change it. And the only station that I could watch, because it was the only station that I would not hear, because I was laying in the psych ward one time and I heard a former Empire star, Jussie Smollett, is in a Cook County jail tonight. I'm like, why y'all gotta play that though? Turn that shit down. But they don't give a fuck, so it is what it is. But the only network, when I tell you BET got me through 2.5 days, and I have never watched so much Madea in my life, I'm like,
hello.
I could recite Sisters. I could recite all of those Tyler Perry shows because it was on BET, and that was the only thing that was on. But they are the only network that didn't have, you know, like the local news or you know, stand-up show or some shit like that you're liable to see.
So this album, Breakout, is more than music. Do we get a better understanding of you from this album?
I would hope so. I would hope that people listen to it and they feel at least the essence of me. That they feel like, you know, man, for so long I feel like the whole world, or not the whole world. Let me stop generalizing. Like, I've been generalized for a long ass time. Like, I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put that on people. I don't feel like people don't deserve that. Yeah. But for so long I feel like it was hard for me to show how happy of a person, or joyous, not happy, but how joyous of a person I actually am. Yeah. Because I feel like it was seen as inappropriate, you know? But I am, you know what I mean? Like, I do not want to sit the rest of my life being mad at the world. I'm not. And I don't want to sit for the rest of my life being mad at the situation. I do think, and I think that that's why when people have talked or whatever like that, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, or it hurts my feelings at that moment. But I also am kind of like, you know, I wish that people would have waited to laugh at it once I said, okay, nigga, you could laugh at it. Go. But, right, but it's hard. Right, but it's also like, but you don't have that control. Yeah. Like, you don't have the control of people. And I will say that, all things aside, stories, cologne, all of that shit, it's funny to hear that, but there was something about surrendering, being forced to surrender, not to a criminal justice system, not to a fucked up government, not to a fucked up police department, not to lies, but to yourself. And I spoke to God in a way that I don't know that I had in a long time. And I think that the term breakout, for me, represents so much more than just a song. It's a way of, how do we break out of our past restraints? Like, how do we break out of the things that no longer suit us? Because I think that we can hold on to things and we forget the fact, we're always talking about growth, but we forget the fact that with growth, sometimes you gotta let shit go. Yeah. You have to leave some things behind, and you got to shed some things. And so with this album, it's a joyous album, but it's all of those messages are all weaved into there. But I did not want to have an album where I feel like so many, and that's why it took me so long, because I feel like people expected me, so I felt that pressure to write an album that's like, I'm sitting in the cell and this motherfucker cologne. No. Not interested. Not interested.
It ain't.
You know, there's a way to tell my story and to speak to people and bond with people and connect with people while having joy.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily always believe in happiness, because that's a feeling. That's a feeling, and that shit can be taken away. But joy, I carry that shit deep down inside, so that can't be taken away. And I feel like this album, I wanted to make a timeless record that, you know, that you could drive to, you could run to, you could clean the house to, you could make love to, you could dance to.
Yeah.
And I think that we did it. You know, we have the most incredible musicians. We wanted to make a timeless record, a timeless album that, you know, when I'm long gone, they could play. And we got musicians we got James Gatson, who he's an incredible, legendary drummer. He played on Marvin Gaye's I Want You and Jackson's Dancing Machine and Diana Ross' Love Hangover. Like, we got Curtis Williams doing the horns from Kool and the Gang. Like, it's just, Dallas Austin is, you know, I signed recently with Rowdy Records. He relaunched Rowdy Records, which, as we all know, like, we kids of like the 90s and the 2000s, you know, Rowdy Records is Monica, and he produced TLC and like Michael Jackson, Madonna, like anybody you can imagine. Mm-hmm. He came on board, and just the love and support that we've been getting for the music thus far has just been really, really, it's been great.
Two things, last questions. Do you ever think that you will get to a point that what people know you or knew you as will be past you?
In the good or in the bad?
That's for you.
I think I have to answer that question with this by saying, I think I had to get to the point where it doesn't entirely matter. I think that, and it does still matter, I would be lying to you if I sat here and I tried to act like I do not care what people think. Because I do. Mm-hmm. I do not care if people believe this or don't believe this. I do. I want for them to know, you know, but at the same time, I don't have control over that. And I just think that in this time of my life, I have to put focus on the things that actually matter to my life going forward. I want so badly to be a father. I want that more than anything in my life. Like, if I left this world and I was not a father, I'm okay with saying right here that everybody would know that I left the earth without being fully fulfilled. I can say that. And so I know that all of this is for my child. This is not for me. It's for me. I benefit, but it's for my baby. Mm-hmm. It's for my babies, whoever they are, because they around, you know what I mean? But it's like, I want them to have somebody, not just somebody, I want them to look up to me. I want them to respect me. And I want them to see that I did fuck up a lot in my life, but I also did fucking phenomenal things. And I fought past the shit that was meant to ruin me for good. And I think that as a man, as a Black man, it is so important to me to continue that message.
Last question. Being a father, mm-hmm. Do you have any reservations, fear? Have you and your partner discussed it? Are you excited? Like, how?
All of it. Yes to all of it. Yes, we've discussed it. Yes, there's fear. Yes, we live in a world that's a really fucking scary place, you know? And I think often I'm like, so is the world getting worse, or am I just getting older so I'm able to see it more? You know? And I think it's kind of a mix of both. But I also think that babies still deserve to come into the world and experience love. I think that adoption is something that I've always held so high, because there's so many babies out there that need homes with people that truly, genuinely want to love them and raise them right. And then, you know, I also may do it, you know, I just don't know yet. I don't know yet. It's a discussion, but it's certainly it's not something, it's something that I would tell you when the cameras are off. It's not something that I would necessarily want to be, you know, up for public fodder, because to me, having a baby is, aside from marrying or your family or something like that, it's such a sacred thing.
No, it is.
That I think that I wouldn't want everybody's energy on that.
No, that bond is something, like, you don't know love until you have children.
And let me tell you something, Cam. I felt that when my niece was born, when my first niece was born. So I can only imagine, like when my older sister was pregnant with my niece Nyla, and my older sister, and I was just like, I remember telling my sister, I'm like, I can't understand how I can instantly love something this much that I've literally never met. And when that kid came, she's my best friend. Like, I know I'm 43, leave me alone. Like, she's my best homie. She understands me. We're both cancers. Like, she gets it. But my niece, my nephew, my other niece, so I can only imagine that feeling of protection, that you want to protect them, that you want to be there for them, and you want to provide for them in a way that is unexplainable. That's why it's just like, bro, looking at you, looking at how you have made life work is an inspiration. So I just think that sitting here across from you, again, shattering the bullshit to show people that there's not one way to be black. There's not one way to be a black man. There's not one way to be a man. As long as you lead with integrity, that you are strong when you need to be, and you are vulnerable when you need to be. And not apologizing for any of that, but apologizing when you need to apologize.
For sure.
Like, all of those things make us who we are. And so I'm looking forward to being a father, and I'm also looking forward to continuing to bond with other fathers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's respect. That's respect.
Well, the moment has come.
This has been longer than the fucking Titanic. My heart will not go on. Rose.
Why she let go, though? You ain't supposed to let go.
Somebody put their handle in that cold-ass water, as cold as the Titanic was, and they couldn't even hang it in there for 20 seconds. So that shit was really cold. So Leonardo DiCaprio, or Joe, whatever his character was. What was his character? Jack. You said that too quick.
Hey. For sure. But if Jack was Jack Quan,
he'd be like, baby, push over.
Rose would have scooted her ass over.
Scoot over, girl.
Hey, hold on. Slide over, babe.
All they had to do, it's just, you know, respect to the props department.
Say less.
You know.
Well, we came, we saw, we conquered. As we end things here at Funky Friday, when I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
We're going to start with this camera, go to your camera, finish with our camera. It's going to look similar to this. One finger, one pinky, one thumb. And when I say all together, we're going to say what?
All together. Oh.
We got to get a combination, because a lot of people, like, yeah. All together, one love. Ready?
Like, to this one?
No. That one, then the pinky, then the thumb. Boom.
Wait, so that one,
Boom.
then the pinky,
Hello.
then the thumb.
There you go.
Shit, come on. This is choreography.
I'm trying to tell you, brother.
Fucking Janet Jackson up in here.
Yeah, just put some emphasis on like you was looking at cologne.
No. Fuck you, Cologne.
Cologne. Here we go. One finger, one pinky, one thumb.
Oh, wait. Finger, pinky, thumb.
There you go.
Shit.
Here we
come
go.
on, y'all.
From the top, take 3. Ready?
Yeah.
One finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love.
My bad. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
From the top.
I'm new here. The fuck?
No, he's a natural. Here we go. It's Cologne. That's in the brain. Clear your brain. Clear your brain.
I bet you he ain't even had no G in it. It probably wasn't even spelled right. It was probably like Collone.
Cologne. Cologne.
Colonic.
Colony. Here we go.
We're talking about love.
There we go. There we go. Look, we get that ADD.
Yo, but on the real though, Cologne, I hope that you out, bro.
Hey,
I do.
that
Free all my people.
stop lying.
He wasn't my people.
Is that too soon?
Fuck you.
It was just, here we go. Hands up.
Put your ass in the motherfucking chicken coop, bitch.
Hey, look. No coop. Hey, you pretty cool, bro. Okay. Hey, you my nigga. Hey, real talk. Hey, we cool. We cool. I'm vegan though, so I don't eat no chicken.
No. Oh, you don't even know crickets? No, RJ Crickets? No.
See,
Oh, you eat that.
bro.
So you a vegetarian except on Sundays. Sunday fun day, you go get the RJ Crickets. You get American Deli.
That's not me, bro.
Wings and tings.
No, bro. But when we went in your green room, we heard your request.
We gonna say that right now. I'm gonna call him out. Should I? I'm gonna call him out. Because I try to keep it private, but I ain't gonna kid.
No.
My fiance made that rider.
I respect it.
My fiance made that rider and put RJ Crickets on it. And then
It's
guess what?
JR Crickets.
My bad. JR Crickets. And then guess what? Didn't show up. So then it looks like we ordered the chicken.
It's okay, bro. See, we real niggas around here. We appreciate that. See,
As he says, I like fickin'.
you dig what I'm saying? Like
Ain't nothing wrong with being a vegan. Are you vegan or vegetarian?
plant-based.
Plant-based. Okay.
I'm veganese.
Veganese. Okay. You was eating them baby back ribs. I'm just joking. I'm joking, y'all. Now see, that was a lie.
Or was it? All right, here we go.
No, that was.
I what?
Or was it? Wait, nigga, you really did eat the baby back ribs?
No. See now. All right.
Fuck this show, y'all. We done.
Look, when we say all together, we're gonna say one love. Here we go. Hand out, one finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, say.
My man.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Excellent.
Are you funny?